This week on an extraordinary episode of X-Men Mayhem, we talk X-Men the movie.
X-Men. X-Men.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to X-Men Mayhem. I am your host, Darien.
I'm your other host, Landon.
And today, we are going to get into our first movie in the Deadpool and Wolverine
Fox Universe.
watch movie
Yeah.
marathon. I don't know.
It's something.
Yeah,
It's
so for all of you who are unaware of what this series is or who haven't been listening to literally everything we've been saying about it,
The past couple of months, or
Yeah.
past month or so.
um,
I look on the calendar. See,
yeah, it's basically Deadpool and Wolverine releases in 14 weeks from now.
yeah,
And so we are watching one Fox X-Men movie a week leading up to that. There will be a week break eventually, probably after the Wolverine, I think. But this week is X-Men, the first one.
yes.
I haven't seen this movie in, gosh, it's probably back in like 2014 was the last time I saw it.
It's been a long time. Like I didn't see it until I was like a little kid. I think that was the last time I saw it. Like watching, like I'd watch this and the Spider-Man movies. I'd watch Spider-Man movies more, and then I kind of just like got done with the X-Men stuff. Um, I I distinctly remember like watching this as a kid. Mystique scaring the hell out of me. I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because like I don't know. I don't know if it's like her
Superpower.
skin with it being like kind of like scales looking like. I guess that's I don't know if that like bothered me. But I remember I feel very uncomfortable looking at her when I was younger.
It's a creepy superpower.
Mm.
But yeah, so I guess we go ahead and get into it. What were your I don't know, expectations going into this? Obviously, this dropped around the same time that, I mean, we'll talk about it on the podcast, but
Mhm.
the new trailer for Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah.
So you get
Which was perfect. I guess perfect timing because it was pretty cool rewatch. Because I rewatched it the same day the movie came out, so or the trailer came out. Excuse me. And it was I was honestly kind of I don't know what I was looking into it because I didn't know if because again it's been so long that I couldn't like really remember. I didn't know, I can't remember if they kind of went for like a Sam Raimi style where it's kind of campy a bit, but very like with the
it's
2000s charm.
it's like it's not really, but like a little bit. You
Yeah,
know, like, I don't know how to explain it. It's more like a serious movie, but they
yeah.
like lean into the weirdness a bit. I
It
think
starts
let me
off pretty serious, like with the like Magneto's origin,
yeah, the
pretty much with
Holocaust.
it being the Holocaust. Yeah, and it was pretty because I don't even remember that part. I don't even remember that. I was like, dang, that's what it starts with. And
And it goes into Rogue right after that.
yeah, then it goes into Rogue, and I was just like, holy, like I don't even like remember some of this. It's I think a lot of it was too. When I was a kid, I was very impatient, and I just told my parents to skip to the Wolverine bits and pieces because that's what I was into.
Well, that was, yeah, when you first meet Wolverine, he's running fights, right?
Yeah, he's doing like his own real steel, if you will.
Yeah.
You know,
Um,
it was pretty cool.
yeah. Yeah,
Definitely has a 2000 charm to it, though. I will
I
say that.
was surprised at how much how much I liked the movie. I knew I would like the movie because I was never like against them. I knew it's not like a accurate representation of what the
Mhm.
X-Men are. I mean, you see X-Men 97 if you want to see that, but um for a different take on the X-Men, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's just like
It's very.
I think it would have been so much better if they did a little bit more with some of the characters, which we can get into eventually.
Mhm.
But
I guess we're gonna do how we normally do it, go over the story and then talk about our
yeah.
pros and cons. All right.
I mean the story, obviously, we talked about the beginning and right there, Wolverine, and you get the shot, the scene in the bar, which is referenced at the beginning of the Deadpool trailer, which
Yeah.
is cool.
Mhm.
And then I'm trying to remember. Okay, so yeah, you get that whole bar thing. Logan leaves. Rogue hitches a ride. Um, they get attacked by Sabretooth,
Yeah.
and Cyclops and Storm show up and help. What do you
Same.
think about? Yeah. What are your? Okay, I noticed this, and I need to get your opinion. Storm, is there something off about the portrayal of that character to you?
Very, very off. I don't know what the deal is.
I think it's a
Um,
little weird that her eyes like turn white whenever she uses her powers. It's cool, but I think it should be like electricity or something instead of just like her eyes turning white.
I think I don't want to say too much because I'll say a lot more in the con section, but is it just me or I feel like no one really like you don't really see Storm use her powers.
Not much, a few times, but not too much. I guess the
You
gist,
see it in this scene for like a second, and then at the end.
and well, and in the middle too at the train station.
Yes. I
I'm
forget
gonna
about
drink
that.
this unnamed beverage that you guys can't see, but it's happening to me.
You're drinking the X Mansion right now. Right now. I didn't bring me a drink. That's surprised. That's a new for Landon.
Cerebral.
Not taking a sip every minute or so.
Let
Um,
me put on my
I
Cerebro.
put on your Cerebo. I got mine on. In 311, mine. I got the FF7.
Yeah,
And
there we go.
anybody beat
Um,
yet? Claim I'm a big fan.
yeah, you need to do that. So we get that whole fight, right?
Mhm.
They go back to the X Mansion. You know, Wolverine's messed up. He's like knocked out. Cyclops
Yeah,
and Storm save Rogue. They take him to the mansion. I think then we go with Sabretooth. He's going to the
the
um
Brotherhood layer. Yes, I
yeah,
can't remember what
that's
it's called. But,
this is my favorite part of this movie is that group, like the
mhm.
enemies. Magneto. Talk about the casting between Magneto and Charles Xavier is so good.
Is peak. I honestly, every casting in here is like
It's good
I can't think
casting.
of. Well, I can
I
think of
think
one.
I could imagine one better one for Storm.
Oh yeah, who would that
Angela
be?
Bassett, the Queen from Black Panther.
Oh, her. Oh yeah,
She was
2000.
in the
What's the
running for it, but Halle Berry got won it instead of her.
I'd say, and honestly, no one really acts bad in their part. I think everyone's like pretty good. I mean,
I love the
portrayal wise,
dynamic between
portrayal and acting is two different things.
yeah.
But
Um
for me it's Rogue. I don't know if I really care for the whole
you
Rogue
got
being a
Jimmy Olsen from
teenager.
Smallville as Iceman.
Yeah, I don't. It's so weird
And
because
Lamplight, he was the lamplighter in The Boys as well.
man, like, all right. I thought did I feel like I distinctly feel like did he die recently?
No,
Yeah, he plays Iceman.
no.
No, okay. I must be thinking of someone else because I thought he looked like someone that I was like, did he like pass away that long ago? All right.
No, let me try to think of it. Oh yeah, at the beginning we kind of missed like the main first part at the start, besides the Holocaust. The UN
Yeah,
meeting.
yeah,
And Jean Grey's there talking, and Senator Kelly, who's like a sort of semi-villain in this movie.
yeah,
Um, he is talking about how they have a list of mutant names and all stuff. He's talking about their mutants that can walk through walls, which I guess is Kitty Pryde, is who they're talking about.
yeah.
Little reference. Talk about they mentioned Charles Xavier stuff. He's there. That him and Magneto meet. Magneto was
Yeah.
basically there to be like, okay, let's see if these humans really do hate us or not. And when he found out they did, he's like, okay, well, why should we hold back?
Time to launch my plan. Yeah,
Yeah. Um, So, I mean, you get the whole Brotherhood thing. Magneto is building a machine. Mystique gets Senator Kelly at one point, brings him there. Magneto's building this radiation machine that can unlock mutant potential in humans, but it's too strong, the doses of it, so it will eventually kill
yeah. Eventually
him.
kill him, and also, well, is it the too strong of doses, or it's just a normal human cannot
That
accept.
might it
It's
might be that. It might be
that's what
that
I
too.
thought. Its body just can't accept it
It could
because
be
it's just
it could be
not
both.
born.
I can't remember.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. Is that when it gets
It
to
might I
it,
think
cause
it's that. That sounds
it's
right.
like your atoms just can't get used to it.
Yeah.
And Magneto
That's
doesn't know that. To be clear, he just sees it like, as far as he knows, it just turns them into mutants, and that's it.
yeah. Um but that's that plot line going on. We see Toad. He's in there. You get that scene at the end with Storm. He's like, happens to it when she says what happens to a toad when struck by lightning. She was like, what happens to everything else? And just nothing.
So all right, all right, you
Um,
ain't wrong, I guess.
yeah. I like Toad, and he'll be back in Deadpool and Wolverine.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Same
and
guy
so
too.
will Sabretooth. Yeah, same guy. And so will
Yeah.
Sabretooth. Um, based off the set photos at least.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think. Who else was there? Was that it? Just them two? And Mystique and
They
Magneto.
had. I feel like there's one guy we're missing.
It was just them
Yeah.
two,
No,
Mystique and
no, it's just
Magneto.
those four. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
Magneto, Mystique, Toad, and
Sabretooth
Sabretooth.
and
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, it's those four.
So anyway, we're at the X Mansion. Wolverine wakes up with Jean Grey in there, messing around with him, trying to figure out what's wrong with him. He's going through and he hears Charles's voice in his head. Eventually, he gets into Charles's classroom,
Mm.
and he sends the students out. They have a talk or whatever. Cyclops shows up. Jean Grey, I think Storm does. And that's when you get the line where he was like, Cyclops, Storm, what do they call you? Wheels?
Wheels? What, dang.
I'm like, wow, we're making fun of disabled people now, Wolverine.
Hey, there we go, Logan. Nice job. Got you
Um,
wheels.
I love the dynamic between Cyclops and Wolverine in this movie.
Oh yeah, it's great. It's great. Hey,
I sent you that
that was
scene.
probably the best part of the whole movie, honestly.
I sent you that scene of them towards the final battle, and he's like, "How do I know if
Prove
it's you?" Yeah,
it.
and he was like, "Okay."
All right.
I'm like, "Yep." Um, so you get that, you get the whole thing. He tells him about Magneto and all that.
Mhm.
Um,
And I don't know if you're about to mention, but he promises him that if he gives them a
yeah,
chance, sticks with them, he'll try his best to give them answers because Wolverine's head's kind of like
yeah, because he
his
can't remember who he
memory.
is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
can't remember. You don't know who he is, where he's from. He's
which comes
from.
into play later. I don't know if you remember. I've seen the other two movies in this trilogy
I
more than
I
the
I,
first one,
I know I haven't seen
especially
X
the second
three.
one. The second
I
one is
want
the
to say I
big one.
maybe saw the second one, but I can't remember. I can't fully remember.
X2 is the big one where you start to get into Wolverine's past. Um,
Mm,
but yeah, so that's set up there. I mean, throughout the movie, it's just like a lot of character bonding stuff. Rogue meets Iceman, and they have that little kind of relationship starting to go on.
yeah,
Um, there's that point where Mystique disguises herself as Iceman to get Rogue to run away so they could grab her 'cause she's like really strong. So
yeah.
um, they got
They're
that. That
used
was
her
kind
to
of
use
cool. Yeah.
the machine.
Now, what did you think? And this is like one of the most shocking moments in the whole movie to me. The thing where Wolverine was having the nightmare and Rogue goes to like wake him up and he
Yes,
wakes up and stabs her. That was crazy. And I
dude, I
thought
was just like, what? And
it's so sudden.
again, I don't even like remember that part. I think probably my parents probably like closed my
You saw
eyes
it
and
when you
let
were
me.
little and you were like,
Yeah, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if they like skipped it because I really don't remember that. And I was
yeah,
just
and
like,
she gets stabbed and then she like siphons his healing ability,
yeah, and it
whatever.
healed. So
Yeah.
that was very shocking. I definitely was not expecting that at all.
Sorry,
You
I'm very
take your
thirsty.
I'm thirsty too. I'm about to have breakfast for dinner. Pretty
I
excited.
thought you don't like breakfast.
Well, not in the morning. I told you I don't like eating breakfast in the morning. I
What
don't.
else? Okay.
That's breakfast. That's what that is. Because
Okay.
it's called breakfast because you break your fast and sleeping for 8 hours.
It's stupid. Anyway,
Well, that's why it's called that. So
I just call it early lunch or something. I don't
early lunch. It's
know.
called brunch. It's called brunch.
But yeah, so I mean, not trying to like skip ahead too much, but because I'm not remembering anything bigger that happened besides when Rogue runs away. They need to go after her, and so they go check the train station, I think, and that's when that whole thing happens at the train station. with
Yeah.
Sabretooth attacking Storm. Cyclops is there, and
He gets his visor knocked off, and so he
yeah,
can't like.
so he has to keep his eyes closed, otherwise it
Yeah.
yeah. Um, so yeah, Toad was there. You see Toad in the background, like running up the wall.
Yeah.
Um, so that was all interesting. I think that's when Magneto shows up,
Yeah.
and I don't know what they did there. They
He
ended up
he he
like
picks up
wires it.
Wolverine with his like magnetic
Yeah.
abilities, tosses him, and then takes Rogue.
Well, that was in the train, wasn't it?
That was in the train. Oh, are you talking about like in
Like
the?
why they were there in the first place. I can't. Oh, they were to get Rogue. Rogue was
They
on the
were there to
train.
get. They were there to
Yeah,
get Rogue
she was
because
on the train.
he tells
Wolverine
them
was
that
talking to her, and then
yeah.
Magneto showed up, took Rogue. They walk out. They have all the helicopters and stuff, police cars. Magneto tears them up. Charles is in the car with Jean, and he uses his mind thing to like take over Sabretooth and Toad. And you get this whole back and forth where he's like, "Would you rather?" He was like, "Would you rather kill me? Would you rather save all these people?" Because he like, what did he do? He like aimed.
He
Oh,
he
oh, he
he,
shot. He
he
shot all the
grabs all their
bullets.
guns, points it
Yeah,
at all the cops.
and he shot
And
the
this shot
bullies.
was kind of cool. He fires one gun, but stops the bullet or like directly on the guy's head, starts spinning
Yeah,
it and like kind of drilling it into him. And you know,
yeah. So basically did that. He took Rogue to the Statue of Liberty. Um, let's see. Not trying to skip anything else, I don't think. But we
now
go
right in the
on
midst, well, we should say Magneto uses that
the machine to
technology
turn
to change the
Senator
senator.
Kelly. Yeah, and
Yeah,
he turns him
Senator.
into like this that weird.
It's like a
I mean,
goo.
yeah. I mean, Stan Lee cameo and on the
Oh yeah,
beach.
look at that naked man.
Yeah. Um, and yeah, he like turns to water eventually. Kelly dies and he turns to water.
What is his power? Is it like a?
He can like turn to liquid. It's weird.
Is that what it is, or is it
So he
like
might
a?
not be dead.
Or
I
is it
mean,
like a breath
just
implant? Like I don't know what his power. I don't
it's
know what
weird.
his power is because it's
It's
just like
weird.
is it like Jello or is it like?
Kinda, I don't know. He can like turn to water though. We saw that.
Well, I think I just want to.
He's like malleable.
Well, I think it's more like a jelly because it kind of like
It's
constantly hints
weird.
at that because he had that one kid on the beach. He's like poking a piece of jelly. I think that's like a piece of him.
You.
Yeah, that's what
Um,
I think that's what it was at least. Unless he's like that kid's a terrible person stabbing a dead jellyfish on the beach. But I
um,
mean,
Jesus. So yeah, he gets Senator Kelly. He dies in the X Mansion. That's when they find out that this machine is going to kill people. And they're getting Rogue because Rogue's powerful enough to where they can harness her powers and send that radiation out. And there's a huge UN conference happening right beside the Statue of Liberty. Um, and so that's going to take all them out, and it's going to take a bunch of people in New York out. So they got to go to the Statue of Liberty to stop it. The machine, I think, is like what up in the top of the torch.
yeah, it's on top of the torch. Yes,
Yeah, this is a very comic book story. It feels
very comic book
like
story.
that's
Yes,
something a
Magneto's
comic
on
book
top of
would
the.
do.
Yes, very comic book.
Um, but so they go there, and you get the whole fight. And Mystique is there, and she's changing into Wolverine, and Storm. There's at one point she turned into Storm, and Wolverine stabs her, um, and kills her, quote unquote, air quotes.
Yeah.
Um, and so there's
That
that.
one part, I don't know why. I tell you what, man, they made me fall for it twice in this movie. It's the part where Mystique's like Storm.
Yeah.
Or like I was just talking about it, but like it kind of got me. I'm like, dang, Wolverine's just stabbing everyone,
Well,
and
he knew it wasn't Storm.
you knew it wasn't Storm because he's just
Storm
Halle
was
Berry.
just outside with Toad. So she did the line right before that.
Yeah, I know that, but I was like, I guess she just came back in. I don't know, but
That's what it's meant to make you
it
think.
got me twice. I'm like, oh crap, Wolverine
In this part of the movie is where Spider-Man was supposed to show up originally before they wrote it out. This is where
really.
that's where that crossover with Toby was supposed to be before they decided not to do that.
They had that. They had that back in like 2000.
Hmm. Well, not Toby,
Before,
sorry. Well, it was going to be the Spider-Man that the movie was supposed to be based off
yeah,
of.
Wolverine's supposed to show up with Spider Man.
Oh, yeah, well, Spider-Man was also supposed to show up
Yeah,
in
or
X-Men.
was
That
that
was
like a
when
little gag? I guess that was
I
before
thought that
the.
I read that he was supposed to show up in it, but they just decided not to. And then they were going to pay
Well,
that off in Spider-Man, but then obviously that never happened.
it's kind of weird they would have paid that off for
Can you
like
imagine
a
the world we'd
movie,
live
but
in if
like
that was the cinematic universe?
I still believe these movies are all connected, just
They
very
are.
loosely. It make
Yeah,
no
they are.
sense
I think so.
to. Yeah,
So when you get the whole fight, I'm probably gonna skip through some stuff, trying to get to the important things. You get the whole Cyclops Wolverine joke.
yeah,
Um, Obviously Wolverine's falling for Jean, but Cyclops and Jean are together. Oh, we get that love triangle.
yeah,
And so they go up to the torch, and up there, Magneto catches them, I think, at some point. Wolverine was getting ready to go up there, and he was like, "Guys," he said, "I can't move." And then that's when you were like, "Oh, Magneto's there. He's got him."
yeah,
Um, he brings them all up there. He's got like Cyclops up against the wall with Jean, and he takes his visor off, and so he's got to keep his eyes closed, otherwise he kill Jean. Um, and then Wolverine, I think he had his claws like this to himself, so
yeah,
if he activated his claws, he'd stab himself.
yeah.
I can't remember what I think Rogue was in the machine, and Storm
Yeah,
was
Roach Machine, Storm,
just tied up.
Cyclops, and they're all tied with the copper. And
Yeah,
Storm can't use her powers because if she
just the
used
copper.
light,
Yeah,
copper would kill him. Cyclops has his visor off,
yeah.
so
Magneto really thought of everything.
yeah. And then Jean, I don't know what Jean. I guess. Well, I guess Magneto had
He
his.
was there with Cyclops. She just
I mean,
wasn't.
she's right in front of him, so if like, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, I can't remember what happened and how they got loose. Was it? It was Cyclops, right?
Well, Wolverine like stabs himself to get out of it. I don't know how that works, but he like stabs himself to get out, and then he fights Sabretooth.
Yeah, that's
So while
right.
that's going on, because Sabretooth has his visor, has Cyclops' visor. He
Hmm.
drops it at some point, and Jean kind of does a mind read, so she knows what Wolverine's plan is.
Didn't Scott? Well, I mean, Cyclops while he's tied up, like look over.
No, because
When did that happen after he got the book?
his
Oh,
head
okay.
was like with the
Yeah, okay.
copper. It was like moving, so he can't move it. So he had
I thought he
to.
looked over. Okay.
So so Wolverine kind of throws his visor up, and Jean telepathically puts it on Scott in like a way where if he shoots, it kind of like he do a laser with like a mirror, where you
Yeah,
shoot it out, it'll go. So he shoots it, and then the beam goes that way and takes out Sabretooth, and then now they're able to like free themselves.
yeah. And so they do that. Um, they stop the machine. And I think, oh gosh, was it Magneto that like trapped himself in the machine?
He
Or no?
no,
What?
that part I
I
could
don't.
not
It's been a few
understand.
days, and I don't remember all the details.
I
Let,
guess he was
let
inside
me
the
see. I
machine
have it over
with
here.
Rogue. Like, see, that part I can understand because I was looking, I was like, I don't know if he put a magnetic field around him or like, but I don't know how Wolverine could have gotten
I mean,
in.
oh, let's see. Hang on. It says, yeah. So, Wolverine goes up there and he touches Rogue, to transfer his powers to her. Wait, hang on, right? No,
That's like after the fact.
I'm making sure I'm getting these right. Battling and overpowering the Brotherhood while Magneto transfers his powers to Rogue and activates the machine. As Wolverine confronts and distracts Magneto, Cyclops blasts Magneto away, allowing Logan to destroy the machine. He transfers his powers to Rogue, rejuvenating her while incapacitating himself.
I guess Magneto was inside there with Rogue because I remember there was a part where like Wolverine got in there and Cyclops had to like take a specific shot
Mhm.
to take out Magneto, but it was like I remember it was like being just it was difficult to aim. And I guess it was just Duke. I guess it was in there because that thing is like spinning really fast, so you got to hit it right.
Um, so yeah, and before this, to locate Rogue, Professor X used Cerebro, and something happened. It like messed with him, and he fell into a coma.
Yeah.
And so did Wolverine too, but they both woke up at the
Mm.
end, obviously. They find out that Mystique escaped the island and is impersonating Senator Kelly.
Yeah.
Um, and then they also mention Henry Gyrick too, which was fun. The guy who killed Xavier in the animated show.
Yeah.
Um, See, Xavier gives Wolverine a lead to his past at an abandoned military installation in Canada before visiting Magneto, now imprisoned in a complex constructed of plastic. Magneto warns him that he intends to escape one day and continue the fight. Xavier replies that he will always be there to stop him.
Mhm. Yeah,
And that was the movie.
he's like, what are you going to do? You know, the war's coming back, right? And then Charles looks at him, he's like, and you'll always have a friend. And I'm like,
Yeah.
man, they're playing chess. Literally, Magneto and Professor X playing chess is like the best thing, like the best imagery you could get.
Yeah.
I love it.
It was good. There wasn't a post-credit scene, right? I don't think.
I didn't look. I'm assuming not.
I didn't think there was. Let me just check. I'm pretty sure there's
They
not.
didn't start doing post credit scenes up until X
The
Men Origins
MCU, right?
Wolverine.
Oh, let me just see it. Post-credit scene, X-Men. Yeah, no, it only starts with the post credits and X-Men: The Last Stand.
Okay, I know
Yeah,
there's one for Origins, but that's it.
yeah. But that was X-Men. Um, Pretty good movie. I enjoyed it.
Not bad. I was honestly surprised because years I was just told like these movies these movies suck for their time, you know, and like they were good for the time, but like now they're just like they're not good. They don't hold up as well as the Spider-Man movies did.
Yeah.
And that's why I always just believed. I was like, oh, I guess I was a kid. I guess they like that. I'm just not gonna bother watching these. And then I saw later on, like with like X Men Apocalypse and all that, I'm like, well, these movies got like bad reviews. I was like, I ain't gonna waste my time. And then I watched this one. I'm like, I really like this. This is fun.
Yeah.
It was really good.
It's now you'll find out starting with the next one what category of the X-Men movie fans you might fall under. If there's two, there's the ones that think everything goes downhill after this movie, and the ones that think it just gets better. So
Better like all the way.
until after well, Last Stand, because that's the end of the trilogy.
Well, I know first. I remember seeing First Class a
Well,
long time ago.
that's after the trilogy though.
That's
That's like
oh,
the
you talking
start of
about?
the
You
future.
saying
That's
it goes
the start of the
downhill
like
for
past
the
stuff.
original trilogy? It goes down.
Yeah,
All right, so we'll
like
find
X
out. Because I'm
two and
hoping.
Last
I'm
Stand.
like, please X2 be good. Because I'll be honest.
I think X two is the one with no Beast is in the third one. X two is the one with Nightcrawler
Yeah, I know Nightcrawler.
and Pyro, which Pyro's in Deadpool and Wolverine.
Mhm.
Um,
I'm pretty interested in how this is going to be because I'll be some parts of this movie got kind of boring. Or I don't know for you because I remember I was just kind of like I was like, hey, I'm kind of wanting this to kind of wrap up. And it's not even really that long. It's just an hour and 45 minutes. But I was just like, all right, I'm kind of ready for this to kind of. It was mostly like the final battle. That was
yeah.
kind of mostly it. And but it was good though. I was a little disappointed. There was only like four X Men, in the team. I was like, can we at least get like one more in there? And
Well, that'll be next episode.
that'd be
Next
next episode. Yeah.
next movie, you get you some Nightcrawler.
I'm cool with that.
Um, I do remember really liking X two. I think X three, not X three, X Men: The Last Stand. Gosh, I remember the ending of that was crazy because that's the one with Juggernaut too.
That's the one, Juggernaut. I'm the Juggernaut.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Um, that movie's very crazy. Oh yeah, because next and the next one is the whole it kind of kicks off the Phoenix part a little bit.
Yeah, Saga. Yeah. All right.
So yeah, that's something to look forward to there.
We'll go
I
over
guess
pros and cons.
we kind of went over the
Do you want to talk about how much you don't like Cyclops in this?
I it's not that I like Tatum. I just don't think he was done well. Like he wasn't like used that well.
Yeah. No, I feel like a lot of the characters, besides
I
I
was
say,
fine. I was fine with Rogue. I wasn't against it.
I ain't hate her.
She just wasn't
I
that
don't like her.
powerful.
I don't like Rogue being like a teenage girl. I like her. Like I always wondered. I kind of wish it was Jubilee, which I think you kind of see in this movie because there's a girl with like a yellow coat in like a part of the classroom at one point,
You
and she
might. I
has like
know Jubilee's
sunglasses.
in the
I
some
know
of
she's
them.
in one of them.
Yeah.
I think she's like in the later movies.
She's in the one with Quicksilver.
That is
That's Days of Future Past.
Days of Future Past. All right.
And I think she might show up in Apocalypse for a scene too.
Hmm. I
Um,
I mean I little complaint I have too is some of the designs of the characters. Like I don't like
yeah.
Sabretooth. Sabretooth's the biggest one for me. I don't like, and the X-Men suits. I think that's another
Well, you
complaint.
get the line with the yellow spandex. Would you
Yeah, and
rather
I'm
have
just
yellow?
like, yeah,
I'm like,
I
yes.
like that place. Well, I don't know why James Marsden's pissing me off,
And
saying like,
now we get. Well, we
now
kind
we
of get
get
yellow
it, and then
spandexes.
Twitter's complaining about it for some reason. I don't
Well,
understand.
I'm going to talk about that on this week's episode. I have one complaint. One.
Is it with the shoulder pads?
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm like, I wish they were
I
short.
understand, but dude, I ain't complaining, dude.
Like, it would look a
Not
lot. It looked
saying
complete.
like I should just take whatever and be happy, but I'm just like, whatever. I'll take it.
At least he ripped the sleeves off.
I want to wear the visor. That's where, or the mask.
They're hiding that for the movie.
Yeah, they're hiding that for the movie. You know what? I
It's probably
wonder if
only
like
going to
in
be in the
the
movie
movie
for like 2 minutes.
he actually wears it the whole time, but like in the trailers they have to like
They edited it out. I feel like he'll only wear it for like a few seconds.
he wears it at the end. That's
Yeah.
it. It's
Um,
just for a joke. Oh God.
um, that'd be stupid.
I,
But yeah. So let's I guess go ahead and rate X-Men. What would you rate X-Men out of 10?
yeah. What would you
I
rate
keep thinking of
X-Men?
like X-Men the
X-Men.
movie or like the X-Men or something, but it's just X-Men.
It's just I remember. I swear. I think in some regions it's literally called X-Men One.
I say that sometimes, even though it's just
Like
X-Men.
we like it literally has like a number one next to it. Um,
Because if I said like you
it's
ever
really
watched
good.
X-Men, they'd be like,
I'm
what?
currently leaning on like a 7.5. I don't know if that's too low because I don't
I
know. I
think
feel
a
like eight's too high.
I think a 7.5 is nice.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good movie. You know, um I really like they.
I'd
I'd
watch it
say
again.
I'd say just the third act kind of loses me. I don't know why. Not that it's even boring. I just kind of remember I was just kind of getting kind of tired of it, you know. And but the first and middle half of the movie, second half of the movie is really good. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, so I give it a 7.5 too. There we go. Yeah, and I guess that about wraps it up for the first episode of X-Men Mayhem. We'll be back next week, hopefully. This was out. We're recording this like right before it comes out.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Hopefully we don't
X
have
Men '97. So everybody watches that. So extra
yeah.
X Men today.
Um, so there you go. You get that. Um, we'll be back next week. Hopefully recording earlier unless Landon decides to get engaged again. Um,
Oh yeah. Spoiler alert. Yeah, I meant to. You know what? I would have just said it on the podcast because my girlfriend wasn't even around at the time. But like, I didn't plan on doing it that night.
yeah.
So I plan on doing it like later, but I was like, screw it, why not? So I'll talk about that more on the podcast. How
Yeah.
that happened. And
Um, but yeah, we'll be back next week with X2. A weird title for a sequel, but whatever.
I'm supposed to call it like X2 Wolverines something.
Wolverine's Revenge.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, what, like the game? Ain't that what the game's called? X2 Wolverine's
I think it's
Revenge?
X-Men. I think it's X-Men Origins, Wolverine's Revenge.
No, it's not X Men.
Isn't it?
It's just
It's
X Men Origins
X2?
Wolverine.
Is it?
Yeah, it's X Men Origins Wolverine, and then
I don't
it's.
know. I've never played
I
it.
swear, I think that game's called X Men X2 Wolverine's Revenge.
It might be.
So I
It
wonder if that was
probably
like
is.
an early
Was that the
title of it.
Mark Hamill one?
Yeah, it's the one where Mark Hamill voices Wolverine,
Yeah,
and
okay. I think I
Spider
know who
Man
it is.
makes a cameo in that game, and that was cut. So
Oh wow.
we went full circle now.
There you go. Well, with that being said, I guess we go ahead and get on out of here. If you like this, if you're watching on YouTube, hit that like button, hit subscribe, and hit the notification bell. If you're watching on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, give us a follow and a rating. Is that what it is on there? Like
Yeah,
the
rating.
stars?
Yeah, give us
Yeah, I
a
don't
one
know.
star.
One
I
star.
guess if you feel like it.
And let us know what you thought of X-Men if you're doing this watched through with us. And we will be back next week with X2. All right. Um, yeah. See you guys then. Bye, guys.
Yeah.